Before we get into the video, before I do greetings, I just want to remind everybody that if this channel gets to 1,000 subscribers by March 19th, the spring equinox, I'm going to be giving away a free 2/5 scale replica of the Stele of Revealing. That includes free shipping, everything. I'll give more details if we make that milestone. Basically, the next video, I'll ask everybody to comment, and I'll pick somebody from the comment section. So, like, subscribe, and please share this channel with other people. If you want a chance to get a free stele, which I hand paint on my own, I do everything from scratch. I cut wood, I sand it, I paint everything by hand. If you want a chance to get a free stele from me, please share this channel around, let other people know to subscribe. Let's get to 1,000. We're about 300 people away. I really believe that we could do it. Greetings. Do without wilt shall be the whole of the law. I'm Lexi Eve, and welcome to the 93rd video on this channel. So, this is probably going to be as newcomer focused as I possibly get on this channel. I give a little bit more towards intermediate level knowledge, I guess you might say. But yeah, this is definitely geared towards newcomers primarily. So today on Walk Magick, for the 93rd video, I'm going to be discussing the number 93. What its import is based on Gematria, and why do Thelemites say 93 or 93s upon meeting and departing one another. So, before the Arabic numeral system was developed and adopted by Europeans, languages like Hebrew and Greek had alphabets that doubled as both letters and numbers. You even see this sort of in Roman numerals, where they would use X as 10, V as 5. But before even that, the Hebrew alphabet, Aleph, the first letter, had a value of 1, so the first 10 letters were 1 through 10. The next 10 were 10 through 100, and then the final few letters were 100, 200, 300, 400. So that was basically how they would do their mathematics. The letters would double as numbers as well. Around this time, Pythagoras developed his mystery school, which a big part of it pertained to philosophical mathematics. From both of these systems developed Gematria, the grouping of words to add meaning to the symbolic number that overlaid a group of words whose enumerations add to that same number. I'll explain that in a moment. It might sound complicated. It's really very simple. Today, Thelemites rely on Gematria as a means to unlock sacred text and explain vital parts of our rituals and initiation symbolism. This is how it works. Every number has a symbolic meaning, from 1 to 1,000 all the way to infinity. Every number has a symbolic meaning, just like any symbol has a meaning. Like the pentagram represents the microcosm, doubling. It also means the number 5, which means the 5 elements, right? So every number is a symbol in Pythagorean numerology. You could find a large list of numbers and their definitions in Crowley's Liber 58. Now, when you have a group of words that all add to the same number, those words are thought to have a common thread in relation to the number of their grouping. So you take that group of words, you meditate upon them, and sometimes you'll slowly write them out in their original Hebrew or Greek, treating each letter as a sacred symbol as you meditate. I'm not going to go into all the nuances of Gematria. There are a lot. This is not a lecture on Gematria, this is a lecture on the number 93, but I just wanted to explain that. So, from the definitions of the number, to each and every correspondence of each letter of each word, from 777's Magician's Tables, you have to learn how to sift through a ton of information and pick out what is most important to the concept you're working with, and learn how to disregard what could be distracting or takes you in the wrong direction as part of your Gematria meditation. That's the short of it. In the future, I will do a video on Gematria, but for now, let's look at the number 93. So first, let's define the number. Surprisingly, there's no definition of 93 in Liber 58. But by using philosophical mathematics, we can see that 93 equals 31 times 3. 3 represents the Trinity, the triangle, the 1 in 3 and 3 in 1. The 1 being the supernal realm, the mother, father, and child. Bina, Chakma, and Tiferet, or Kether, Bina, and Chakma, right? The source which equates to the 2. Then the 2 equal the 1, right? The source births the mother and the father. The mother and father come together, obliterate each other, creating the child. Now, 31 is El in Hebrew, which means God. It's a feminine singular form of God. El, A-L. La, L-A, Lamed Aleph, means not. This really symbolizes God is no thing, since these two words equate to 31. Now, there is no God in Kabbalistic thought. There's the Kabbalistic zero. It's not a thing. It's a precursor. It's what there was before the something of the universe. The nothingness, everything in union. If everything's in union, there could be no division. There could be no separate individual consciousness. Everything's just one same source. There's no differentiation. Therefore, there is no thing. 93 is composed of 3 31s. So on top of El and La, God and not, Crowley attributes Atus, 20 and 11, which together 20 and 11 equals 31. The Hebrew letters associated with these two tarot cards are Shin and Teth. Together, Sheth or Seth, the god of chaos in Egyptology. So the union of the Aeon and the Serpent Lion is this third 31. Thus, 93 is kind of like the Tao Te concept of making magic upon earth by drawing light from the source beyond all, the Kabbalistic zero. That's one way to look at it. Next, we turn our attention towards groups of words under 93. We're going to focus on Hebrew primarily. Some of the more important words out of what you could see on your screen now are incense or frankincense, an army, white or to shine, to flow, Beni El, sons of God, Muam, and a disc. All of these words together, when you're plucking out words for Gematria to meditate upon a number, for myself, it helps to think of them in like a story, kind of. So, for instance, Beni El, the sons of God, can describe 93 as those who are dedicated and having attained by studying occult sciences. Muam is a variation of Om, the sound of creation, the ability for the magician to create and be godlike. And surrounded by the M, 2 M's, which is the hangman, it's kind of like self-sacrifice to attain back to nothingness, or I guess you could say it more like a giving up of the ego for back to come into union with the source. Viaov is a solar word of power describing birth, life, death, and reincarnation of both the magician and their occult practices. Frankincense is solar, and in these group of words we have a large focus on the conscious mind. So take these ideas and relate them to the two most important Greek words under 93. Thelema, meaning will, and agape, divine love. They both equate to 93 as well. So taking the group of Hebrew and then these two words in Greek, thus 93 by Gematria is describing the art of using solar consciousness and force to do magic. It's a very rough translation, but you could probably pull out a lot more. You might pull out something different meditating upon the words. But in short, that's what 93 indicates by Gematria. Now, many newcomers constantly ask, what is it with saying 93 as a greeting or when you're departing as a goodbye? Well, it's actually a lot more than that. The primary law of Thelema, according to the Book of the Law, is, quote, do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law, and love is the law, love under will, end quote. So, when someone says 93, that's a shorthand for the word Thelema, indicating do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. The person responding will say 93s with an S, 93 is plural. What they're saying is love is the law, love under will. You could see it too in writing letters amongst Thelemites. They will begin a letter, greeting so-and-so, 93. And below the body of their text, they'll sign the letter, and right above that will say 93, 93, 93, or 93, 93/93, indicating like a fraction above and below. This places the main body of their text totally within the bounds of the law of Thelema. The 393s are love is the law, love under will, love, love, will. So 93, 93 under 93. Hence the way the slash is drawn, like a division or a fraction. Now, here's the meat and potatoes. When a Thelemite person says to someone 93, it's not just a customary greeting. No, it's much more. It's a challenge for that person to do their will, to be their most authentic self. And when the other person replies 93s, they are accepting the challenge. They are stating emphatically that they too accept the law of Thelema, and that they too challenge the first person to also do their will and be their most authentic self. Love is the law, love under will. I'll see y'all in the next one.